Hi, I'm Drew.
And I'm Sam.
And welcome to Drewling Samantics. Hey, there we go.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Sorry, I was just about to say hello, but I am struck dumb. But I'm really disappointed. Where's the sign?
Oh,
You haven't tied it up. What's going on, buddy?
Ladies and gentlemen, listeners, viewers, Drewling Samantics, followers, I am on tour, and therefore I'm not sat in my studio, and I haven't got my Drewling Samantics sign up. I'm very sorry, but I have to say, Drew, I have still managed to podcast with you, and
yes,
more importantly, I've still managed to grab a beer as well.
Oh, so, good man. Yep, I'm with you. I'm glad you're ready because we have two great guests joining us today. So
you do. Yeah.
I'll forgive your sign, but I don't know whether they will.
And I have to say that I was going to say we've got two scary guests on today. Now, they themselves are obviously not scary, but their business very much revolves around scary. So
very much.
I think it's about time we got these horrible. See what I did there? I think we get them on, let them in and see what they've got to chat about. What do you reckon, Drew?
I think so, mate. They're there. They're waiting for us.
Right. Okay. So here they come now. And there they are with us already. Hey. Jason and Kirsty, how the devil are you both? Wonderful to see you.
Very well. And nice to see you guys as well.
Yeah, well, Drew, meet Jason and Kirsty. Jason and Kirsty, please meet Drew, my partner in crime.
Love to meet you guys.
Hi, Drew.
What an amazing treat to have two such powerful horror people on our show. It's something that we haven't really gone into before. We haven't really looked that direction or had anyone on the show who's been sort of had a horror background in any kind of way. So why don't you guys kick us off and just kind of explain how you got involved in doing what you do in particular?
Okay. Interesting. I've got a love for horror anyway, just to put that out there. I actually love horror to bits, hence a t-shirt. So when I was working before for Land Rover and Jaguar, I always got involved in horror photo shoots. I've done loads of stuff behind the scenes, invited to some incredible bits. And when I left Land Rover, I was gifted a year to go out with a salary, and I created Silent Studios. Literally walked out and created my own vision, and people then joined into that vision. So I've been very gifted to have worked with some really nice people and some really cool people. Kirsty is my better half, as most people would say.
Too right.
There we are, see. And I met her, obviously, in the process, a few years into the process when I was doing Silent Studios, and I met her as a zombie. So she's now my right-hand man, woman, AD and producer. There we are. And it's been a ride ever since, and it will be a ride forever. There we are.
Amazing. So our first, other than you and your lovely wife, Drew, our first married couple who kind of work in the same area. So we had your good friends, Erin and Paul, on before, who are both performers, but sort of very often branch off and do different things. Whereas you guys, I mean, how do you manage to be, I mean, you're not married yet. You're getting married very soon. Congratulations.
57 days.
Not that you're counting it down or anything. But how do you find being a couple and working together all the time? So you're basically always together. It must be a joy I'm getting from your faces.
Infinite patience.
That's what Kirsty would say. I mean, to be honest, like I say, I think it's challenging for any couple to work as much together as we do. And there are many couples that do this, obviously, in different genres. But Kirsty has a passion for horses, as most people know. I have a passion for horror. So we work together on each other's side of the fence, and that balances our relationship, I think.
Yeah, it's great teamwork and a lot of stress balls.
A lot of stress balls, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, thank God there's two of you because you got so much on the go. I mean, we'll get to the other stuff, but, apart from producing the films, there's online magazines, there's books, there's photography. Kirsty, we'll get onto your particular little niche later on because that makes me laugh. But no, in a good way. But I mean, tell us a little bit about the movies, because I mean, we all know, because we're as people are listening will know that Sam has shot some stuff with you. So what's in production at the moment? What's being edited or post production, whatever?
Okay, so the first one that's just been released, which is our third film released, is Torture. That's on Amazon at the moment, Amazon Prime. That's been released. There is a campaign still running for that because we're still trying to do some nice little premiere stuff and whatever. We'll talk about campaigns in a bit. So Torture's out there. That stars Lawrence Harvey, Peter Mayer from Brad Pitt's film Allied. It's got some local actors and some up-and-coming actors in that as well. Obviously, Sam's been in quite a few of ours. We'll talk about Sam in a minute as well. So he's cool.
Yes, please.
I'm only kidding. No, he's good. So we've got Torture out. In post-production, we have a film called Mannequin. So that's in post-production, hopefully to be released in October, as we're planning a really, really good profile and premiere at the place where we shot it with the 25,000 mannequins. So that should be awesome. Wow. Sam's in that film. He plays a real
creepy photographer.
Good. I'm glad you word that.
Yeah, I had to do some extreme acting for that one.
Extreme acting, absolutely. We pulled it out the bag. So Mannequin's obviously in post. We're currently, and we've got a couple more scenes to shoot for that as well, just to put that out there. It's in post, but there's a couple bits to do to add into that. The House of Zombies Built is the one we shot last year or the year before?
Last year.
Last year. That is was shot locally. Again, Sam's in that. So there's a bit of a, common theme here. But Sam's in that.
You're either telling people a really good reason to see all your films, or one particular reason to avoid
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're an extremely good actor.
You are good. Yeah, you are. I mean, that's no doubt about that.
In the post. Please continue.
Yeah, no worries. It's on its way. Oh, sorry.
That's me.
So that's for you. Okay. So again, that's a zombie one for zombie fans, really. And we've got a lot of stuff in that, and we're still filming that, and we'll be filming it till probably May, June, off and on, different scenes. That one not only stars Sam, Danny Thompson, Lawrence Harvey from Human Centipede 2, but we've also got a lot of US stars. Brink Stevens is in it, Lynn Laurie's in it, so some really old school people. And we've just signed, I'm allowed to tell you now, Donna Housing is going to be in it too. And we've got Lloyd Kaufman as well. So and many more. There's a load of others coming as well. So that's going to be a real bundle of joy for horror fans in terms of its content and stars.
Yeah,
so that's going to be quite good.
I mean, Jason, you talk, obviously the horror genre is very, very wide, but quite a lot of your work, or what you've been involved in particularly, or the writing side and producing and directing side, has been very zombie heavy. Do you think there's a particular reason why zombies in recent years, especially, have suddenly become such a huge area within horror?
Yeah, I mean, indie horror has grown over the last 10 years anyway, to be fair. It used to be a thing not many people watch, or it was behind closed doors, but it's now at the front. And I think programs like The Walking Dead have pushed the zombie genre through the roof, really. So I'm a big fan of zombie films anyway, from George Romero's and stuff like that. And there seems to be quite a lot of collective zombie films going out. One of my friends is doing Z Dead End, Robert, so he'll appreciate me mentioning him. And I think for us, we do zombie films, but we're also going to be breaking, which you'll see in the next couple of years, into some other horror. So supernatural, murder mystery, even going as far as a Wild Wild West film, which is, again, something that will be popping up. We'll probably talk about that in a couple of years, maybe. I don't know.
Amazing.
Well,
you're already cementing an appearance in future seasons of Drewling Samantics, where you have to come back and go, well, this one's now in post-production. This one is now started. We'll follow the process.
So I think we try and do films that are different. So the new one we're currently in pre-production for is called Zombikini. So it's exactly what it says in the tin. It's quite a quirky film, but it has a really, really unique twist, which I can't give away to wreck the film, obviously, but it does have a really unique twist to that. So Kirsty and her co-partner, Georgie, literally they're like the rocks behind me, because they do a lot of the proofreading, they do a lot of the rewriting, and even write some of the scripts themselves. So they are literally, without them, I'm just a bloke with a camera and directing myself.
Thanks.
But that's that should be
the nicest thing you've said in a while.
It's the only thing I'm just joking. So yeah, So you have to have nice, strong teams behind you, and you have to be willing to do it for love, not for money in most cases, because these are indie horror films. They're not, your Mission Impossibles or whatever else. I think I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah,
but yeah. So,
we know that the indie side of film doesn't have big budget. We know that, and it is blood, sweat, tears, and pure determination. Not that those things aren't involved in making huge budget sort of Hollywood movies, but when you've got a bit of money behind you, I guess certain things are easier because you can just afford to spend and bring them in. Whereas with the indie side of things, it's very much calling in favors, people working and helping each other out.
It is a bit about that. I mean, sorry, go on, Drew.
No, I was just saying, I think also it makes people cleverer. You work. You haven't got huge CGI budgets or whatever budget. You go, okay, we'll get clever about this. We'll get creative. And I think there's a lot of why it's got very popular, in my opinion, is because it's clever and people get a little bit bored with watching great big budgets. You go, okay, fine, that's all great. But if you watch people that have to do it for the love and have been creative and clever and written, interesting scripts to get around the fact that you haven't got, 200 million to throw at it, I think people really enjoy it for that point. I mean, I certainly, some of the indie stuff I've seen is exciting because you think, well, this has been made with love, and a quick turnaround, and that makes it, I think, for me, it makes it much more exciting and accessible as well.
I think what you said a minute ago about the acting and dialogue is very key in these films as well, because we do use practical effects, we use blood and gore and guts and plastic heads and whatever, like every other company. But I think the dialogue is key. So if you engage with the people that you're watching, you're going to watch the film. So like I say, when we did the House of Zombies built with Sam and Danny and all the rest of it, we had a very unique bonding on that set of the cast, as we did on Mannequin. And you see that come through them when you watch the film, which is really, really key. And I think that will engage the audience, as well as the special effects and everything else going on.
We also had some crazy moments where we had to try and catch time up, didn't we, Sam?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I mean, it's... I guess when you do it... Look, but
hang on a minute, I'm missing something here.
Do you know what? I can't remember if we talked about it on the podcast, Drew, but you certainly know that my car broke down on the way to filming. Do you remember me saying, I can't remember if I mentioned it on the podcast, but essentially my car broke down. And what followed was a very sort of painful phone call where I had to speak to Kirsty and go, hi, so these couple of days that we're supposed to be filming, I'm currently sat on a motorway and my car won't move. So, but the genius that she is managed to move some scenes around, and we still managed to complete everything we needed to within time frame, just with a little bit of adjustment. But I know I was a pain, but at the same time, I know it wasn't a pain.
No, I was more worried about you.
That's what I say, though. When you look at things, Kirsty is really good at producing on set. She really does listen, and she moves things around. So as Sam has just proven, but we've had that a lot on a lot of sets, and you'll find on a lot of indie horror films, things go wrong. It's not plain sailing. People think it's a walk. You just wander around with a camera and shoot for an hour. It doesn't work like that.
No.
These are the old days when you're doing Blair Witch Project, I'm sure, but. For us, it's like we do have a schedule, we do have scenes to do, we do multiple angles and all the rest of it, and it is hard. It can get stressful on set, and you just have to try and bite your tongue. I'm a good director, but I'm also a nightmare because I will shout when needed, and people don't always appreciate that.
I've never experienced that at all. No.
But I do.
He never shouts at us, does he, Sam?
No,
I do. I do it with love. I do it with love because obviously I'm trying to make them look good as well. I don't want them to look shit because they'll only blame me at the end of it anyway. So I have no choice.
I don't know.
But I think that's the clever thing. And like I said, it's like I love horror. I love being on set. I hate the editing stage. I have to say that's not my game. But I love being on set with the cast and crew and us working day in day out on a film. It's lovely for me. I think that's probably if people have said, do you want your dream job? That we're doing it now. For me, I'm doing what I want to be doing. So, I think
that's great. You mentioned, moving away from the stuff you do yourself. You mentioned The Walking Dead. That you've been heavily involved with that as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we have worked with AMC in the UK on Fear of The Walking Dead, and we've worked with Sky on The Walking Dead. So They're promo jobs that we've been gifted to be given, and we've obviously brought together makeup artists and zombies, and obviously other bits and bobs here and there, and done promo work with them. And I think promo work for us used to be our bread and butter, is one of a better word. Everyone gets a paid job. We go out and do a job in exciting, and then it promotes you as well by doing something that high profile. Obviously, since COVID, that's gone down a lot. So we haven't got much promo, but it's also made us focus on more film work, on more scripts and more things that we've done, books and magazine and whatever.
Catching up on
backlogs. And catching up, because there's also, we've got to do accounts still. We're not just I've got a camera and I'm going to film. We've got to still do accounts for every film and stuff. So guess who does that? So again,
I get all the good jobs.
Yeah,
she get all the good jobs.
Stuff.
All the good jobs, all the free beer, all the good jobs. So so I think she is really, really good, and I think our team in general, when we have the usual suspects on set, we work well together. We really do. When we pull it out of the bag, we work well, don't we?
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff.
So obviously, as we said, lots of stuff on film set or on TV set or on promo set, which is all very sort of performer heavy, a lot of direction from your sort of area. But on top of that, you've got print, you've got audio books, you've got various other photography projects. So how do you sort of manage? I mean, tell us about a few different bits that you do, but also then how you manage those alongside being on film sets quite for most of your days.
Okay. Kirsty also is heavily involved in this, just to let you know. Just want to point that out. I just want to promote her as much as possible.
I do it all.
No,
I don't.
So I love horror. I said this before. So one of the things I wanted to do was get some novels out there, because novels are, people read a lot more than they watch films in the general. I hate reading, but people do. So I'm very good at creating stories. So I'm not an author. I create stories. So I can write 30-page of a story. And what we kind of do is we get different friends of ours that are authors to author the book so it's fleshed out. And then Kirsty will proofread it. And she'll criticize it, and she'll go back and forth until we're happy with the final edit. So the advantage of doing that is some stories I come up with would cost us millions to film, absolute millions. So the genius is you put the book out first of the ones you can't film, and you do a script for that. And then the ones you can film, you film, and then later on you can do a book for that. So that works both ways. So you have a win-win. And obviously with the books, you can put them on Kindle, you can do them on print, and we can do them on audio. So that's 3 different areas you can do the books. So I think we do well in that. And again, I've got the girls, both Georgie and Kirsty, by my side, proofreading, criticising, and all that kind of stuff. So that takes time as well, obviously, which is cool. And then the magazine is just something we decided to do, God knows how long now, 5 or 6 years ago, somewhere like that, where we thought, why don't we just share some of the stuff we do and some of our friends' stuff, pull in some stars here and then everywhere, because magazines seem to do that, and then share what we know with the horror community. And we do it for free. We don't even charge the magazine. It's a free read on what's it called, isu.com. So literally we do that every 3 or 4 months. So we just put people's stories in.
Really good team of writers.
Yeah, we've got some writers.
Really team of writers that volunteer articles or go and research something, then say to him, hey, can I put this in, or can I write about this or whatever? And we go, yeah, sure, do what you like. Like, I proofread it goes out. It's biannual, is that right?
About 3 months-ish, 3 to 4 months.
Something like that.
So it depends on how much time we've got, because again, that takes up a lot of time. But yeah, it's a good introduction to other people. We've had people on there like the Ball Queen, everyone knows who she is, Anna, and she told us all about her experience on Silent Hill, for example. And we, like I say, for the next issue coming out, my friend Roberto is going to tell me all about his Z Dead End movie, which is the new zombies. Instead of the Sharknado thing, he's come up with zombies falling from the sky. Who'd have thought? Raining zombies. I mean, it just goes mad.
Not my cup of tea, but...
So yeah, so it's about just, I think we try and give back a little bit as well to people, and we always try and give people a chance, even if they've never worked on a film set ever. You'll find we'll bring people on just for experience and help out with Kirsty's team in the production and producing team, and just have a day of fun for them. And same as zombies, we have some random zombies come on our set.
What? I was trying to know what makes a good zombie.
That's a very, very good question.
Anyone can be a good zombie. Anyone.
Anyway, so no, I
think look at shock on your face there, Jason. Look at shock on your
10
face.
films because apparently anyone can do it. Simple.
Yeah, apparently. I think the answer to the zombie question is you're always going to get people that are more scary actors than others, and whether that's facial features or the prosthetics that are put on, or just their sound in their voice. Because some people just scream or animate and do the weird twisty or contortionists. It goes on. So I think you just judge everyone individually, and then when you put them in the screen, you place them in the right positions, and then when they all come towards screen, you get a sense of fear instead of having a little chuckle because one of them's a clown. Maybe I think you got to make sure the balance is right, unless you're doing a comedy. The balance is right. So zombies are zombies. We do have wranglers on set as well for the big scenes. And they try and teach the unknown how to try and be a zombie in terms of the walk style. So not Michael Jackson, but more Walking Dead and fast versus slow and that kind of stuff. It's a good anecdote.
There was I can't remember. There was a little documentary on TV quite a while ago now, and they were looking for scare actors for an interactive event somewhere, and it was amazing the number of people that thought they could do this turned up and went, I can't do that. Once they were, like you say, once they were sort of shown what they were doing, the look of shock on their face was like shock and horror, if you pardon the pun, because they're like, I can't do that. I thought I'd be great at this. And it really goes to show that, walking along there and, covered in makeup, it's not that. It takes far more than that. That's why
being a zombie is really difficult.
And I was going to say, you're talking about adults at the moment. So when we did Zombie Playground back in the day with Channel 5, was it? Channel 4, sorry.
Tiny Tots Talent Agency.
We was with Tiny Tots Talent Agency. So they're kids that are 6 or between, I think there's 3 and 7, somewhere around there. So we had to pick 35 children that act like zombies, and a certain individual female had to tell the other ones that didn't get the job that they were fired.
It was awful.
Right?
I mean,
Simon Cowell.
Know me. I don't like saying no to anyone for anything. I am probably...
You're very accommodating on set. You always help someone out. But I can't imagine what it was like telling small children, sorry.
I had to tell this child that she was rubbish and she didn't have the role. That's literally how they wanted me to word it.
Yeah,
I was like, you're rubbish, you don't have the role. And this child cried, and I was like, I'm sorry, you're not rubbish, you're fine, I love you, you can have the role, just ignore them, you can have it.
Yeah, there was a lot of tears that day.
It was horrible.
So the agency wanted you to be quite...
No, Channel 4.
Channel 4 did.
Right, so
they wanted the hard and the wanted the nice part of filmmaking and then the horrible part.
So basically,
cutthroat it can be.
So what Kirsty's trying to explain is the Tiny Tots Talent Agency, which is a Channel 4 production. Each week they had a different genre, and they were trying to show young kids coming into the acting and filming world. So one week it was like action, one week it's thriller. Episode 2, which was horror, we were picked to do the horror. So literally, we had Zombie Playground ready to go anyway, and it needed children, so it was perfect timing. So literally what we did was we went down to this Talent Tots agency and Channel 4 were with us with the cameras, and we had to do like a proper, who's in, who's out, kind of thing. And literally I think we picked 18 first, and one of the girls that I thought was just on the line, she said no to, and she screamed the house down, really absolutely tantrum like you've never seen. And they all had their parents with them as well, just to put that out there. So I said to Kirsty, can't we just have 19 and put her in? Because she's pretty good as a zombie. So anyway, Channel 4 said, that's great, we'll do that, we'll film it. It'll be like you're redeeming one of the children back. And I was like, okay. So they followed us with the camera, right? Not joking, they followed us with the camera, went through to the room where the girl was crying. I went up to her and I said, before you scream, please listen to me. I said, we've had a think about it, and because you did such a good job as an actor, being a zombie, we'd like to bring you into the acting role and give you one of the roles as well. And her face went from tears to screams of laughter. And they had it on film, and I was like, typical child, take the sweets away, they cry, put them back in their hand, stop. It was amazing.
Horrible, though.
But on set, 35 children, 35 sets of parents, all of Channel 4, all of our crew as well, and actors. It was like about 100-something people on the same set for a weekend doing a short film for 15 minutes.
And
insane.
To make it even worse, it was a 2-day shoot, and it was meant to be all on one day. The first day was beautiful sunshine. Second day, we sit down.
It was
absolutely
raining.
torrential.
It will do that. Yeah.
Literally my worst nightmare. I was having a breakdown in the corner somewhere. Yeah. It was awful, wasn't it? That shoot.
But we still pulled it off. And again, we did. It is out. Zombie Playground's obviously on shore, and it's on the Tiny Tots Talent Agency show as well. That's about a few years back now. But it just goes to show you that anybody, like you say, can think they're a zombie, but when it comes to the screen, they might not look as terrifying as they think they do. So you have to be a bit selective, I think, in some cases.
Okay. Now, they say never work with children, animals, and obviously children as zombies are something we should never touch either. But I mean,
animals. No, I don't think
zombie animals.
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
There we go. You can have that one on me. But I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, we talked about, I mean, it's obviously a passion. It's something you're both enormously skilled at. But we said it. These are independent films. You don't have huge backers. How on earth do you fund? For those people who don't know, and I'm not 100% sure, how do you go about funding? Your work?
Do a bit of busking on a Saturday. Me and Ed Sheeran. No, I'm just joking. No, so I think like a lot of small companies like ourselves that do indie films, we use platforms. So the one we use is Indiegogo, and they all have their different pros and cons, but we like Indiegogo.
Yeah.
So basically, we've got up there at the moment. We've got Torture, we've got Mannequin, and we've got the House of Zombies built. All at different stages of production, all with different perks. And it's about donating to the film. So although you may get a free T-shirt or a free film or a download or a credit on the film, that's all a perk, as they call it. The objective for people to donate is donate towards the film to make the film. If you get those things as well, it's a bonus. So we try and make it as fun for everyone as possible. So Indiegogo is the way. We do also have some friends that just love us that much, they give us some money. Don't ask how that happens; it just does. But we and again, we also have put our own money into some of these films as well. So
of course.
Most people do, but it is hard going. Indiegogo, although it has a billion subscribers, they don't all see your film, or your campaign. It'd be nice if they did, but they don't. So I think it's about promotion, marketing, and your campaign shining against the other 5,000 film ones that are on there, because they have choice, again, like any other supermarket with products. They have to choose yours, don't they?
Yeah, it's never easy. It's never easy, is it? But it doesn't matter. I mean, there are, as you say, there's all these platforms and there are ways of making money, but you still got to push. That.
Yeah, tight budgets is always the way.
Clever with budgeting.
Yeah. And be clever.
I guess the main sort of source then, albeit through Indiegogo, is people who love the horror genre and want to see more out there, because it has its own following. Like any genre, you've got people that are into action movies or people that are into animation, but horror almost stands on its own, doesn't it? It has this huge following, and there are some very generous people who love horror and want to be involved or want to feel that they're supporting the industry, albeit in a small particular part of the industry. But we wouldn't thrive, certainly indie film wouldn't thrive without that. And I guess on the flip side, that people wouldn't have quite so much incredible content coming out, films to watch, TV shows to watch, without sort of supporting it. So it does work both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's been people on our set that have just been in awe of being on a film set. So you get people that just have regular everyday jobs, and we offer them an experience to be on a film set like some of the other indie companies, and they're just like, oh my God, I'm on a film set. So that's quite good. That's giving back to the community. It's giving people something that they probably wouldn't get on Mission Impossible or something like that, or Tom Cruise's latest film, whatever it is. But yeah, so that's that. I mean, the problem you've got is it's the other end. When you've done the film, you try and sell it into distribution. That's so hard. Because you've got Netflix that throw millions at these programs and films, and I mean millions. They're huge, and they can do it with like snapping your fingers. So when we're at the other end and we've spent all these months and months editing a film, and you try and put it on Amazon or Yuli and whatever these other ones, YouTube, Vimeo, whatever, it is difficult. That's even harder than doing the film, I have to tell you. So we're just happy that we get a film completed, edited, and out for people to watch. Film festivals and whatever. That's what our aim is, to get more films out for more people to watch, to enjoy. That's our aim.
Brilliant. I mean, I think it's fascinating, and we always say the same thing. We never have enough time. We really want to get people back on. You guys have got to come back on. When you're husband and wife, and when you're all,
married.
Oh, now Jason is just reaching behind him there.
Yeah. This is for anyone not watching on YouTube at the moment. This might be a bit straight, but it's worth tuning in, even if you only usually listen to us, just to see who has joined Jason and Kirsty on screen. And this is you did mention earlier, Drew, that you were going to ask Kirsty. This is Kirsty's sort of main venture, but your little jump into the horror side of things. Tell us about your bear. We can currently see what is a very cute teddy bear with a large gash in his neck, spewing blood, and a rope around his neck.
He's called Hanging Ted.
He's called Hanging Ted.
Hanging Ted.
And he basically hung himself, and he died. And that's what happened.
Don't break it apart.
Basically.
He's our mascot for the magazine, by the way.
I destroy teddy bears.
What a way to make a living, eh?
What a way to make a living.
They are called Creepy Claw Bears. If you're ever looking for them, they will have this logo on their foot for people that are watching on
They've got an SS on their feet.
They'll either have an SS on their foot or a CC. They're my ones.
Just to point that out, that does stand for Silent Studios, not the SS.
Yeah.
Just point that out there.
Essentially, my bears, because there's other ones out there that have skulls in their faces and stuff, but they're not cute. No. But my bears stay cute, but bloody.
With a bit of horror. With a bit of horror.
Yeah.
It's a bit
amazing.
Yeah,
totally niche, as you said, Drew. So
that's brilliant.
I was like, I don't really want to do it. The first time I did one, I apologized to the teddy bear because it was one of my teddy bears from when I was a child, and I cried afterwards. But
you did it. It was your fault.
I know, and then I kind of started to enjoy it a little bit too much, I think, because I got a bit in there with the knife and I was gashing away at it. Anyway,
it didn't help that she had labels saying Jason on the back. I mean, she was like, I'm just saying, awkward teddy bear.
Yeah. I was just about to say, mate, you were counting 57 days down. I mean, I'd just watch yourself, because, once it's legal, anything can happen.
It's a nice way to take my frustrations out.
They are lovely.
Injuring,
And to be fair, like I said, they're lovely little creations that Kirsty comes up with, and she's not a super fan of horror. So her to make these is quite incredible. And just to put that out there, she did Negan bears from The Walking Dead with little bats in, and literally even Negan himself from The Walking Dead at the Walker Stalker convention came up and had a photo with his own bear. It was insane, and he asked if he could keep one of them to take home for his children.
Amazing,
brilliant.
That's quite brilliant. Yeah, this one's our magazine. Obviously, our magazine mascot. He is Hanging Ted. So you'll probably see him. We have him at the Comic Cons, and he gets taken. Stars take photos with him. We had the guy off of can't remember the name of him now.
Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful. Yeah, the one that does all the cutting up and slicing and stuff.
Oh yeah.
We got a photo of him dicing him up, and
amazing.
Game of Thrones stars, you name it. But yeah, that's Kirsty's little guilty pleasure, I'll call it. Guilty pleasure.
And I have to say, what a wonderful way to end the episode with a chat about a massacred teddy bear. And we've
sorry about that.
I mean, we've been all over the place in this episode, from a couple who met as a director and a zombie and are now about to get married with 10, 15, 20 different projects on the go all at the same time, be that print, be that film, be that live events or audio or whatever.
Mutilated teddy bears.
I have to say, first of all, congratulations on such a huge success in so many different areas focused around one kind of main theme. And secondly, and most importantly, will you come back on the show again further down the line, so we can talk a bit more about some of the films once they're out and once the others have started production.
Yeah, we'll make you a Drewling Samantics bear.
Yeah.
Samantics bear. Wow.
Yes.
We'll do two things. We'll make you a bear, and we promised Drew as well. We'll put him in a film as a zombie, so he can tell his experience on set as a zombie. How's
Brilliant.
that?
And the makeup artists won't need to do anything, so it'll really save time. And on that happy note,
still harsh.
Straight to the heart.
Yeah.
Straight to the.
Jason, Kirsty, thank you so much
thank you guys
for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure having you guys on.
Thanks for having us as well.
Yeah,
thanks for having us
Not
on.
a problem. And look forward to seeing you very, very soon.
No worries. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Take
Cheers.
care, guys.
See you
Look
later.
after
Take
yourselves.
care.
Bye-bye.
I really enjoyed that, mate. What a great pair of people. Fantastic stuff.
Just another different element of the business and another area that we haven't touched upon, but is so deep and has so much going on in it. And it's just a joy to hear more. I mean, I've been involved in quite a lot of horror films and stuff over the years, but to hear all the other sides to it, it's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
I mean, not just the horror genre itself, but also the independent film world. I mean, how what a struggle those guys actually have to get the stuff filmed in the first place. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Incredible hard work.
Huge kudos to them for what they achieve and everything that they're able to produce and create, including little fuzzy teddy bears with serious wounds. Unusual, but quite unique.
Unusual, but hey, you know.
Yeah. Whatever works. So
brilliant.
And speaking of unusual, what are you doing next week?
I've got quite a bit unusual. It's strange. I've got quite a few dinner shows coming up, interactive shows.
Oh, nice.
For those. And I've been recording. We had to put back the listening book that I was going to record,
of course,
because of studio time and the unwelcome guest intervened.
Yeah.
So I'll be recording that next week as well. So yeah, a good, nice, busy week of bits and bobs, and then preparing to start rehearsals the following week.
Well, yes, of course. So obviously I'm on tour at the moment, but as we alluded to on social media, you're also about to start your tour, as we discussed. So we're both out and about on the road and all over the place. So, and I don't know, it can be hard at times, can't it? And you do miss being at home, but it's also entertaining being away and getting to see different places and perform in different areas. So it could be rewarding, certainly, and enjoyable, as much as it can be hard missing family, friends, etc. And
it's tough, but it is what we do, isn't it? It is, after all, it is what we do, you know. So you are deep into rehearsals again next week, I take it.
Yes, so we are 1 week in. We have another full week of rehearsals, and then we have 2 weeks of performances. And it's been going great, and I'm very excited for what we have to come. A bit more polishing up on things. I mean, we've got a show in place. It's now fine tuning and putting things together that will just, I guess, advance it and make it an even better show so this is a schools tour for the young children, the young adults and the children that are gonna watch our production, and hopefully they'll learn a lot from it and it will be beneficial. But I'm really excited for what's to come, but also things that are to come later in the year as well. And you mentioned you're doing some dinner shows. I've actually got a dinner show coming up in the middle of doing the rehearsals, so I've got to finish rehearsal and then head over and do a dinner show, and just to really just continuing my really busy year. And equally, I know you've been very busy, but have to say, feel so grateful, so lucky that having had the couple of years that the industry has had, or that the world has had, but it's just so amazing to be back at it and just feel like we're out there doing our craft again.
Being productive. It's nice to be productive, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. So I shall raise my bottle. I haven't got a glass today because I'm away. I'll raise my bottle to you, sir.
Yeah, and there you go.
Cheers. Here's to hopefully a very productive week next week. And we'll tell you what, why don't we end next week with another chat and another episode of Drewling Samantics? What do you think of that?
I'll tell you what, we'll meet up and have a natter, shall we?
I think that we'll certainly enjoy it. hopefully some people at home might do as well. But yeah, to everyone watching, as always, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed listening to all the exciting things that Kirsty and Jason had to talk about. And Drew and I will be back with you next week. Take it easy and see you soon.
See you soon, everyone.
See you later. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks again for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed watching this episode of Drewling Samantics.
If you have, then please consider subscribing to our channel and you'll get notified every time a new video is released. Don't forget, we're also available as audio only. Just search Drewling Samantics in any good podcast app.
Please support us on other social media too. We're on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and all our links and handles are on screen now.
We love welcoming new followers and subscribers, so please share with your family and friends, and we'll be eternally grateful. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.